How you doing, everybody? I hope you're all doing great. Stock Option Sniper here. I hope if you've been trading, you've been waiting for your setup and being more patient and becoming more disciplined on trading the setup that the market just gives you, right? Today we're going to talk about how to analyze the market in a very advanced way, because I get a lot of questions to say, hey, what's going on here? Why is it that I have certain zone that it's not holding? What is going on? I thought it was bullish, but why is it that we're still bearish? And I'm going to break down things on how I personally analyze the market. This is not financial advice. You can take it or leave it. Take the good, leave the bad type of scenario. However, if you are once again trading and you already have, or experienced trader and you already have a system, don't change what's already working. I'm just sharing what it is that I do and what works for me, right? So what do I do and how I find trades? I'm gonna break down this NVIDIA trade for you guys, but overall, let me find a certain stock that we have not watched. We go BNTX. All right, I kind of don't like that. That's not a. Let me go for something, right? Oh wow, Amazon is setting up here. Okay, let's just leave that alone. Oh, BA set up beautifully in our demand zone. I'm looking for a stock that we can play with right here. Okay, you know what? Let's play with Splunk. I'm gonna delete everything for us. I don't know how I did this, probably previous video, but let's go. So, what do? I showed you guys the Golden Goose method, right? That Golden Goose. Shout out to one of my mentors. He showed me this method, right? The Golden Goose is basically that ball on the middle of your mouse and you're zooming out to see the bigger picture until you can't anymore. So you can go to the yearly, right? So what is happening here? You can see that SPLK is in a very downtrend, in a huge downtrend, right? You guys can see that. But also SPLK, Splunk, has a certain zone here. So I like that point of interest. So we might see a bounce on SPLK. Awesome. Let's just keep it that way. On the quarterly, great. We broke structure. This break right here has broke this entire structure. And now we're looking to go. We retested, and now we're looking to break. It's not giving me enough story. I don't like it. Good. So right here, we broke structure. Broke structure again. Is there a body close here? Broke structure here. And then broke structure here. So what we're looking to do is we can see an accumulation. So we know we're bearish, is what I'm trying to say. We're bearish. We're super bearish. So maybe we can see more down here. Set up a little bit, grab some liquidity here, keep falling, and all that good stuff, right? But this is just my analysis and how I see the market. The only thing that I need to know is that overall SPLK in the higher time frame is bearish and is looking to take out new lows, right? So let's go on the weekly. We understand it broke structure, broke structure, broke structure, broke structure. So for about 8 times it broke structure, right? So let me make sure the drawing is locked. Stay in drawing mode. We broke structure once. We got that once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. You guys see that? 5 times, 6 times. So you can definitely see that it's like, hey, an overall higher time frame, which really matters, is that we are breaking structure over and over again, right? On the downside, and we're taking out liquidity. So maybe we can see a potential, where's that next liquidity? Right here, right? 65 is the next liquidity for SPLK. You can put that as your weekly. I like the weekly better over the overall structure, right? So what's happening right now? Well, we know that there's liquidity right here on this low in a super downtrend. So it's looking to take out those highs, those lows, excuse me. So what I want to see is ask myself, what was responsible for that down move on SPLK? Right? So we broke here. I would like SPLK to come back up here. Right? I was responsible that up move right here. I would like SPLK to go back to our zone here at around 109. Right? Maybe even here to this zone to have that higher time frame push. Right? Are we gonna say it's bullish? Yes, because maybe it can do this. Maybe it can even break, but we cannot do anything. But we do have a point of interest right here in this zone. Right? We're not gonna play that trading where you have so much supply zone in this scenario where you're like, all right, what the hell is going on here? Why do we have so much supply zone? It's a demand zone here, but then it's a supply zone there. Oh, this is also a supply zone here, right? There's a resistance here. So overall, you're playing with the zone and you become paralyzed and not understanding. So for the sake of this example, we're just going to use one zone, which is this zone right here, right? The best part about having zone all the way up here is that price can go up in a way where just right here, and you might miss the trade. Sometimes price can go all the way up here and then miss the trade. But that doesn't mean you're not wrong, because overall you do have the story that overall is a bearish trend, right? So you know when SPLK, right, this stock that we are breaking down, this ticker, when it goes up here, we're not going to be like, oh, it's over super bullish, so I'm going to take long-term run, right? Because we know the story of the entire move of the trend is down on the downtrend, right? Because I know some people, the reason why I'm making this video is because we know that this is a downtrend. They go in such a lower time frame and see things like this and be like, oh, nope, we're uptrend. We're an uptrend, right? Oh, we're pushing up. Calls all day on SPLK because we've been short for so long. Not understanding what's going on in the story on what's going on. So what I'm trying to portray here in this video is the understanding that you're going to take your higher time frame, right? You take your higher time frame and you combine it with your lower time frame. You don't play on a separate or where, oh, it's bearish on the weekly, but then it's bullish here. Overall, you're always looking for that bearish push because it's breaking structure to the downside. It's clearing liquidity on the downside. If you don't know what liquidity is, I have a video on liquidity. Also, if you do not know what the Golden Goose method is, you can see that right on my videos. I put all those videos out for you guys from the beginning, right? Can you wait for this trade? Can you wait for this trade on the weekly? Yes, you can. Do you have to? No, you don't have to if you don't want to. If you're an experienced trader and understand exactly what you're doing, have proper and tight risk management, you can trade these lower time frame push ups like this, right? Look at this. It hit our perfect zone. Where's that? That was our zone for the weekly, no? That was our zone for the weekly that we drew. How did we get that? Well, that was on the yearly. That was our point of interest right there. So if you were trading on the 4 hour, you can trade things like this. That's a lot of money right here, right? But if you want to be a trader that is very, very patient, that is looking for high quality setup, you tell yourself, hey, listen, I know my point of interest is bearish. So what I can do is once I have my price to where I want to go here, which is this point of POS, I can just set alert right here. Create alert for SPLK, right? And set alert when you break structure because we know it's going to continue pushing on the downside to clear liquidities, to clear more liquidities on the downside, right? We can have this liquidity on 65 to 63, even to 50, and all those 29, depending on how hard this push is happening, right? I've shown you guys this story. Like, I appreciate my mentor so much. He tells me everything. He's like, listen, we don't come into this market to just go becoming a fiend on looking for trades every single day, right? It's like he calls it this crack addict. Why? Because he's always looking for a dopamine hit, always looking for a trade. That's when most people blow their account. That's when most people have this gambling mentality of just pushing the lever, waiting for it's either a hit or a miss, and that's when they blow their entire account. While me, I'm being extremely patient, sitting on my cash, right? Outperforming the people that do not have the patience. So while this is going up, they're trying to trade this up and down, trying to make that buck, quick buck. They make money here, 100% here, lose 50%, oh, lose another 50% because they thought it was bearish. And overall, once the price get up here, now it sets up so beautifully for them and it just plays on the downside. The cash that I've been sitting on, I have so much cash that I've been sitting on that I can play this in such a beautiful way because I waited patiently for my setup. While those people that have been gambling on this push up right here or fake push up in this scenario has lost everything and now they're back. They just blown their account and they're looking at the setup like, wow, I drew my zone there and it played out properly. Only if I waited. I hope that makes sense, right? That's a little bit of a psychology on what's going on with the market. Like the more I learn this market, the less I trade. The wiser I become with the entry or what plays I'm taking. Like I'm becoming more wiser in this market. You know how when you're riding a bike or when you're doing anything, any activity, you're like, hey, listen, I did this, let's say bike, I did this, I rode a bike, awesome, right? I fell down a couple times. Why did I fall? Because I stopped pedaling, because I understand that in order for me to keep going, the bike must keep continuing in motion, but I stopped pedaling here. So what I'm trying to say here is that when I learned my setup, when I learned that trading is a game of high probability setup with risk management backed up with risk management, I started to just wait for my moves because I know the market can go up and down. Can the market go get that push up and get all that money up? Of course. What do I mean, right? Like, can you take the market here? It goes like this. It sets up beautifully for you, and you take calls all the way up here, and then you can take puts. You absolutely can. But I'm not in that type of game. I am not in that game, right? I am not in that game at all. I'm in the game of I have a system and I follow my system, and I keep doing it over and over and over. And that's where I outperform most people because they don't have the patience. So when they see a certain strategy and they try to work the strategy and it doesn't work for 2-3 days, or they take losses on that strategy, they jump to another mentor, jump to another course, jump to another Discord, jump to another trading signal community, and it's like, oh, they have no system. While I'm here, even though I take L's, I take break evens, and I take wins, I have a system that I follow over and over and over, right? So I hope you guys understand why I'm saying that I'm waiting patiently and I put my alerts so I don't miss it. I'm looking for that setup that I have here. I show you guys on a mentorship my type of setup, but in this scenario, we're going to use the Wyckoff setup, right? You know that already. You're looking for a redistribution, right? So you have price. Let's say price come up here, right? Let's say price come up there. You have that redistribution. You get that UTAD. So you get that PSY, the preliminary supply, you get that retest, reaccumulation, and then you just hold the play and then it just delivers for your own favor, right? That's how this is how actually stock moves, believe it or not. It's not just a one-shot down thing, right? So this is like my best way of trying to, I guess, copy the movement of the stock of the things that I'm looking for, right? So in this scenario, now that we have all that, this is the story that I'm telling you guys. This is the story. In a yearly time frame, it's bearish. In a quarterly, it's still bearish. It's breaking structure. In the monthly, it's still bearish. It's breaking structure and getting liquidity on the downside. On the weekly, it's still bearish, breaking structure, right? And then we have that on the daily where you can find more of what's going on, and this is where I talk about the trading. Look at this. SPLK is is setting up so beautifully right now because technically it's looking to pull back to this point of interest right here, right, to this POS or fill in this little gap that it created. But overall, I would not even touch that. I wouldn't. I'll patiently wait for my 105. Can I miss this entire play and it does what we wanted to do from that gap? Absolutely. But I'm not in that game. I'm in the game of I wait patiently for my setup. And every time I wait, I mostly have more cash that I have to play with, and I use that cash in a very wise manner. It's like one of those scenarios where you win the lottery and then people start buying things that are nonsense, and then they lose all their money a year from now, those millions just in the year. But I'm that person that spends that that invest my cash wisely, right? This is my business. I use my cash wisely. I'm becoming more wise when I put my money in the market, right? So on that daily, we understand this is the yearly, this is a yearly zone. So overall, this is it right here, right? This is that setup on SPOK, that 4 hours. So what can we see here? I would like to see a pullback into this point of interest right here, or maybe even fill 50% of this gap. Where's that? Where's that gap fill, right? So if you're looking to play within that 78, you can put it here, right? And then on the lower time frame, that 4 hour, you can play it, right? You can see that bounce, you can take that bounce, and you can take the high of a quick scalp if it's set up beautifully for you, creating a spring in this scenario. Because in this short time frame, it is setting up to be bullish. Maybe it's even looking to take out the 101, right? But then you're not going to get confused why it goes all the way up to the zone that we drew on the weekly. To be like, oh, it's bullish, so therefore I'm taking more calls. No, overall, you're combining the higher time frame, which is that story, which is everything bearish in this stock. And then when you go to your lower time frame, you know exactly what you're looking for. You're not shocked why price is falling when it comes here, right? Guys, I know I'm saying a lot here, but I hope that does make sense. So with NVIDIA, I'm gonna break it down for us. I hope this does help. This completely changed the way I look at the market. This is how I chart. This is what I look at in the market when I'm giving out plays to my community, right? So on NVIDIA, I had a quick interest on, right. I had this block right here. I showed you guys how to find structure. I had this entire block, right? On NVIDIA, I had this push right here. This was liquidity on NVIDIA. I seen a break on NVIDIA. I seen a break of this entire structure. So I said, all right, awesome. I tried to look for a pullback, but I said there was no pullback. I looked for an interest on my lower time frame and see where I can catch it. Apparently, I didn't catch anything. Right, so I went down a little bit lower, looking just to scalp and scalp. So I said, what happened here? I played on my 5 minute, and once I seen the 5 minute, I seen this push up right here. Oh, I think that was at the 1 minute. It was a green zone. It was a green candle. Right there. Right? So this entire block right here, this was a supply zone for me. From this low to that high. This became a supply zone. This became a supply zone for me. Right? Because I had the first supply zone, but it never touched it. So what I was looking for is I wanted price to come back up here. Right? I refined that to my 50%. I refined the wick to my 50%. I did not get that touch, so I missed that trade. Once I see broke that 164.39, right? That I had in my that 164.39 on my 4 hours that I drew. I said, listen, I'm gonna take puts here. I see a break of that structure. I seen that break, and I said I'm in there, right? But overall, I had zones here, and it's never touching, as you guys can see that. That will happen. I showed you guys an example with the SPLK that when you can have the most perfect zones, right? You have the most perfect zones, and it just doesn't happen. Like I refined it to the wick, as you guys can see that. If I've shared with you guys how to find zones, especially if you're in my community, that the wick itself is an unmitigated zone, right? And that's how I got, but the price never came up there. So I confirmed it with the break of structure at around 163.39, and I threw it. And right now I'm targeting this zone right here. What is this zone right here? Well, if I look in my daily, that is my POS. This was my POS to refine here. If you want to know how I refine that, I teach that in my community. I give it out to my team. And right now I'm just, I'm letting the video run. I'm having fun with it. I haven't touched it to go to my break even, but right now I'm just having fun. I'm letting it do its thing, right? We caught it at that break. And right now I'm just letting it run. But guys, I hope you guys understood that I don't want you guys to be a time frame trader. I also get this question asked a lot, like, so Carl, what time frame do you play in the most? And I'm like, at the 1 minute. So what they start doing is they go straight to the 1 minute and play the 1 minute and never understanding what the heck is going on, right? They never understand what's going on. So what happened is they play in this 1 minute, and every single day they're playing the 1 minute. They'll be like, oh, Carl said is 1 minute. We're gonna play, I see two green candle. It's a candle over candle. Now we're taking calls. What happened? Boom, break structure on the down. So yes, you get that bear. You see that candle over candle, and once you see that, it's like, what the heck is going on here? Well, why is he said he plays in the 1 minute? What is going on? But not understanding that before we even got this play, we were already looking at a higher time frame, that 4 hour of that break of structure. We had our target to the downside. We had certain zones here that was mitigated right here, right? I gave this out in my mentorship right there, that green zone, that push that was responsible for this entire push down. It was that green zone. So we wanted price to come up. And look at this. It delivered fucking perfectly, you guys. I didn't personally take the trade, but I gave this out to my community, this rejection in the wick, right? This rejection right here. And what happened? It just kept on delivering and delivering, bear flag, whatever you want to call it. But that's how I got this NVIDIA trade. It was no secret, right? You do not disconnect yourself from this higher time frame. You're going to combine the higher time frame to your lower time frame, you guys. Don't disconnect. Don't be like, yo, my 4 hour is bearish and I understand it just broke a structure, but in my 1 minute it's super green, which I'm taking call. Hang on, I'm trying to find the worst scenario. Let's go for a push up from yesterday. Let's find that push up from yesterday right here. Right, it's super bullish. It's super bullish. It's creating so much. It's so much momentum on the upside. Right, so it's bullish. And I know this is corny and everything, but I'm just saying, don't be that type of trader. Guys, you got to take the time to learn this. Till this day, I'm learning this, fam. I'm still learning till this day. But you guys, I hope you enjoy this. That's how I personally break down and create my story in the market. If you are trading, please trade cautiously. Do your own due diligence. Don't just jump into trade. Start paper trading and start paper trading those strategies. Do about 100 to 500 trades. Maybe you don't have to do it like a day like me, but do it in a whole week. Right? Find trades, do the back testing, and do it over and over in paper trading. You don't have to put your real money into it. And when you understand and you have the solid system, now you can go push your real money, because now you're not coming into this market blindly, but you're equipped with this. Okay, I have understanding with my system. I've pretty much been back testing my system and I know what I'm looking for. And when that scenario comes, all I know how to do is I'm going to execute and put risk management behind that trade. Woo! Fam, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are having your goals for New Year's, also please push hard, run straight to the finish line. This 2023 is all about betting on ourselves. So fam, peace out. Enjoy the rest of your day.